Well, what do we know right now? Because the impact could be enormous.
Well, the situation in Japan just seems to go from bad to worse. 3 reactors are now in serious trouble, and Japanese officials are not ruling out the possibility of a meltdown at all of them. Today, an explosion at the Fukushima number 3 reactor damaged the cooling system at reactor number 2. Reactor number 1 was already in crisis, and Japanese efforts to inject seawater into all 3 of them to keep them cool were set back when the pump injecting water into reactor 2 ran out of fuel and stopped.
The fuel of the pump ran out, and it has taken more time than originally anticipated. And at one point in time, the water level did start to fall, and the fuel rods were exposed above the water. This situation did continue for a while.
Now that problem was fixed. They started to inject seawater again, but then another problem arose. A valve that is supposed to vent pent-up steam and heat didn't open. That caused the water covering the fuel rods to evaporate, and they were exposed a second time. The company which owns the plant says it should be able to locate and open that valve. It's critical, of course, that they keep those rods covered as much as possible, and they need to try to keep the pressure down to prevent a rupture in the containment vessel. Of course, if there were a rupture, that could result in a release of radiation. Today, radioactivity levels around the plant did go up for a time, but then they went back down. About 200,000 people have been evacuated from the area.